Good evening from the heart of flyover country. It's time to play Without Rule of Law. I'm your master of ceremonies, Bobby Spags, here to introduce you to our undisputed, world-renowned, top-secret panel. Riverside Will! And your host, Patrick Henry! And now it's time to play Without Rule of Law, the card game that gets you navigating the unthinkable and asks, can you brave a world beyond law? Take it away, Patrick Henry.
Okay, all right. Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to another pulse-pounding episode of Without Rule of Law. I'm your host for tonight's shenanigans, Patrick Henry. Hey, look at there. Can you guys hear us out there tonight? Of course you can. Tonight we're driving headfirst into the chaos, the unknown, and the absolutely fascinating, and we're doing it with some of the sharpest minds in preparedness, strategy, and just plain common sense. Joining us this evening are my fine friends and fellow shenanigan creators. The man who watches society like a hawk. He thinks 10 steps ahead of the rest of us, and is Kansas City's very own Peter Parker, Riverside Will! Tactical Will, as we like to call him. Obviously, we have the marketing mastermind, the strategist, and the only guy who can make sense of the nonsense faster than headlines can hit your TikTok feed, Mr. Kyle Benoit. Benoit? It depends. If you're north or south of the Mississippi, depends on where you come from.
North or south? Wow, that's new.
The east or west?
Well done, homeschool.
The VP of reality checks and the only man brave enough to call out the evils of cream corn while teaching you how to survive World War III, Mr. Bobby Spags. These guys, they're builders, they're thinkers, they're planners, they're storytellers, and they live in the real world, Neo, where riots, economic collapse, earthquakes, pole shifts, and yes, even Bigfoot joining foreign armies aren't just theoretical. They're the kind of crap that you plan for. So in tonight's episode, we'll be tackling some of the following. The riots in Minnesota. And what could happen if Kansas City follows suit? Yeah, people are talking about that. That's happening. The New Madrid fault and how prepared or maybe unprepared most of us really are for that.
It's not my fault.
It's not Kyle's fault. He did not fall down. Peter Griffin. The collapse of the U.S. dollar, that's happening. World War III spilling over to U.S. soil. The U.S. annexing the 51st state of America, Greenland. Aliens, yeah, the other kind, not the Minnesota riot kinds, officially landing on U.S. soil. And what could that actually mean for the rest of us if that were to happen? And, of course, as always, the fate of cream corn. It's of the devil.
Thought we were friends.
We are absolutely friends. That's why we're discussing the fate of it. So grab a drink, grab a snack, buckle up, and get ready for the kind of conversation that makes you question the news, your neighbors, and maybe even what's in your pantry right now. Tonight we're going to play Without Rule of Law. Let's see who you can trust with your life, your family, your potential loot drop, or maybe just your last can of cream corn.
Jeez.
Oh, man.
That's a lot of cream corn.
What alcohol do you turn corn into again, Bobby?
Whiskey.
And what is he not drinking right now?
Whiskey.
Actually, I'm drinking vodka. I switched over. See, can you make corn vodka?
No, it's potatoes.
Yeah, it's just potatoes. So I'm sorry. So sorry. Hello, Barbara. We see you out there. Barb's in the house tonight. Love you, Barb. How you doing? Oh, hey, look at that. Rebecca, stay tuned. Don't leave. We want to see you and talk to you later. I think
we will be talking about her later.
We'll be talking about you later. Yes, we will be. Our good friend Julie. She is look at that. She's a fellow compensated anarchist. Yes. Oh, wait, no, that's Rebecca. Rebecca is a compensated anarchist. Tulsa doesn't seem too far behind. No, it doesn't. Tulsa, we were just down there a couple of weekends ago. It is kind of weird down there right now. So stay sharp, Jules. It is always weird in Tulsa. Tulsa's a weird place. Who do we got? We got Linda in the house tonight. As you see down there, we have the banner for get your own Without Rule of Law cards scrolling across the bottom. But let's get into the shenanigans. So, huzzah, thank you for joining us. I see there's a handful of you in there. We really appreciate it. We know that you could spend your time anywhere this evening watching old reruns of Matlock, but instead, you're here hanging out with us, and we love you for that. So, obviously, to those of you who are new, who've not been here before, we're going to ask a lot of strange questions that, again, help us decide and navigate how one would process a world without rule of law. So we're just going to dive right into it. I have randomly selected one of you to be my victim of this evening, Will. To start with, and so right off the bat,
Do we need to drink to Will already?
Will, rest in peace. To your future loot drop.
The bottle right in front of him.
Normally we start off with like an easy question, and then like we work our way up to the heart. No, that's right. Kyle hit the nail on the head, as it would be. Hey, Zeg's in the house. Lewisburg, Tennessee. That's my man. Zazeg. It is Zazeg. Hello, Jules.
And Bailey.
And Bailey. And Baby.
Always Bailey.
Yes, always Baby. And we have cookies provided by Mrs. Tara. Thank you, Miss Tara. We appreciate you. All right, so we're going to dive right into the hard questions and skip the easy ones because that's what we're going to do. Will, Peter Parker, Kansas City. So, from a boots on the ground, rural-minded perspective, when unrest starts in your area, in the Riverside, Missouri area, urban cores like Minnesota, it's a tinderbox right now. I know you've all seen what's going on in the news. Everybody's aware of the lady getting shot in the face. Shot at. Allegedly,
she would have known if she played WROL.
She would have known. That's right. And I rest in peace. I'm so sorry. What are the early indicators that you would watch for, Will, that would tell you that it's about to go down in Kansas City for something that's going on like in Minnesota? That's a hard one.
They're pretty good at announcing themselves, it turns out.
You mean their bus schedule?
Yeah. Turns out organized riots require a certain level of organization, especially when they're paid for by anyways, things that give it away.
Funded?
NGOs. The J people.
Outside of that circumstance, turns out as long as you're not on the X, you don't have to worry about the first shots. Being a person who's not living exactly on the X, you can have the luxury of buying yourself time via space.
Oh.
You should be more or less prepared regardless. Yeah. But things to avoid when it's riot season, namely when it's warm enough that people can riot comfortably. Yeah, they couldn't be inconvenienced or arsed to do it any other time.
The roads are slippery.
Don't go to places where they want to go break down glass windows and take stuff, because then they might bop you in the head with a hammer.
Yeah.
And then after that, it's just trading space for time. So if you have sufficient space between you and them, there's a good chance they might not even come your way. But if they do, then they again announce themselves. They're loud and obnoxious. And then outside of that, again, too, if they're going to organize something in your area, there's a decent amount of warning. Heck, in more than one event in the last while, people who did not necessarily know that I do things like this were like, "Hey, did you hear about this thing? You want to come out and join me?" And I'm like, "No, I'm good." Like, "You're doing what this weekend?" No, I'm not going to be. But they literally organize it weeks in advance. And they'll even post it on social media. So just pay a little bit of attention to your, we shall say, opposition, and they'll announce themselves.
So what you're saying, to summarize that down for you kids sitting in the back of the class, there will be signs.
There will be signs.
Okay.
I don't know about you guys, but on Reddit and Facebook, I like to keep a pulse on anything conservative and anything liberal, and be following those pages and those people at all times.
Yeah.
Not because I'm one way or the other and have an enemy out of one, but I'd rather just know the playing field.
You bet.
It's having one of those wireless barometers in your house where you can just look at it and go, "Oh, it's about to rain."
Yep.
A well-informed citizen is just exactly that, and it pays to be one. So in this day and age, which is unfortunately very strange to say the least, living in a tinderbox like Minnesota, or anywhere in Minnesota where the riots are going on anyway, in Kansas City, Tulsa, some of those places like that, it could get squirrely really quick while you're at work and not paying attention to the Reddits or whatever, because you're just busy, right? Picking up the kids from school, getting a latte with extra shot of whatever. It happens.
I would also say, If you happen to see forklifts running around certain parts of downtown placing pallets of bricks, just could be a barometer.
Oh, you know,
Just saying.
that police uniforms getting dropped off in the
If
street.
you see pallets of bricks where there's concrete buildings and no brick buildings, chances are it's bullshit.
That never happens, right? That never happens.
That never
True.
happened.
Area remodeling, right, Bobby?
That's
Yeah.
right. It's sure. The wainscoting looks like bricks these days.
So that was a fantastic answer, Will. Thank you very much, gentlemen. Excellent commentary as usual. So, Mr. Kyle.
What you got for us, Patrick?
All right, so this is in line to your rebuttal to Will's answer and a follow-up, almost exactly in the same line of answers that I'm expecting on this. So, Kyle, riots, they don't just happen, right?
Yeah.
They're narrative-driven typically, and there will be signs. So, how much of what we're seeing in places like Minnesota is organic unrest versus engineered chaos amplified through media and social media platforms like Reddit and some of those other sites?
I mean, Patrick, just to give you some context, I was somebody who would have considered themselves far right many years ago. But over the last 3 election cycles, I'm looking at being kind of down the middle, looking to be more libertarian. I don't think the government should have as much going on. The problem is what I want versus what the media is trying to feed you has become a war of attrition. Everyone is looking to control the environment of the people around them. And before, that was done with geographical constraints. We have to have the fair in town loud enough with enough flyers dropped and control the narrative of what people are reading and talking about at the pubs. Now everybody is literally looking at screens. The point where Netflix is even making movies be repetitive with their points in the movie.
You bet.
Because people are on their phone while watching their screens.
You bet.
Yep.
The news is the same way, and social media is the same way. There are drawn out narratives. And I even shared a post in one of our mutual circles recently, but I went as far as to research the video before I posted it because there is so much fake news or engineered news these days. And I think every one of us have to be careful not to find which side of the aisle we're funding with our attention, with our noise. We just can't do it. We can be upset about things that are happening. We can be concerned. We can prepare. We can live in a place where we're prepping. But man, I would just say I would filter everything on social media through the entire bag of salt, regardless of what side of the aisle, what side of politics you're on, because it's all engineered to control your environment, control your attention, and ultimately control you as the dollar.
I love that.
You can't take a side in any of this anymore.
That is the well thought out answer I would expect from a well informed citizen such as yourself. And looking at like Mike, help him. We have German Shepherds in the studio as always this evening. Like Mike pointed out here, Indiana Mike says, where'd they go? Mike says that the narrative has become organic. It's a strange and parallel universe when we are saying things like we live in the disinformation age, where Grok, ChatGTP, AI, assisted messages or videos or altered photos are hard to trust with the naked eye. Beyond just saying, "Oh wow, that's cool," or "Man, that poor thing," or "Oh man, that looks." You just don't know unless you're on the ground and you actually see it.
Patrick, I was listening to a comedian who was telling about somebody who put a prompt into ChatGPT, and ChatGPT's response was, AI is the result of carving a god out of the wood of your own hunger.
My man.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I've been sitting on that, Patrick. Like we, as humans, we're hungry for, the gossip, the tea,
Sure.
the meta. But at the same time, those of us who are kind of a little bit younger, we had to realize early on as we watched analog turn digital, nothing's real anymore.
Yeah.
Because it's the human's hunger, it's the human's need, that unsatiable appetite that's driving all of those narratives. And they realized for us who could see through and I'm pointing at Will, no disrespect, guys, but we watched the analog and then we had to live in the digital. We didn't have a choice. That millennial and down generation, they're living in a fake world and they know it. And that's what's making them angsty.
Yeah.
It's not real. to them.
Think about that. Put that into context, guys. I mean, in this last 5 to 10 years of human history, there are more influencer millionaires and
Yep.
several multi-millionaires from someone twerking on a specific platform versus someone showing you how to tear down an engine or build a business from scratch or how to set up your family's legacy in a trust, right? I mean, it's a very strange day and age when we're living through this, I guess, paradigm. So great answer, as always. All right. No pressure, Bobby.
Bring it.
Oh, yeah. You want me? Let me just. Okay. Challenge accepted.
Bring it, for goodness sake.
All righty, then. Let's go. You know, I'm going to save that one for last.
Oh.
Yeah, no.
okay.
I'm going to save that one for last.
Bring it on.
No. I don't want to. I don't want to ruin it. Well, there's a handful of people. We got a nice crowd tonight. All right, fine. Bobby,
What?
be honest.
Yes.
Absolutely brutally honest.
Yeah.
If society collapses and the only remaining canned food is creamed corn, is that when you finally admit civilization was a mistake?
You're asking me if nihilism revolves around cream corn.
Yeah.
Well,
Is that when you go jump up, take a short leap from
Damn.
a tall building?
no, at this point, I've got to eat crow because nihilism is like the weakest of all philosophies. Like, it is literally the dumbest
My
philosophy of all time. You go to an nihilist, like, nothing matters. Fine, give me your paycheck. Well, no, I won't do that. Then something matters, right? So, yes, if it comes down to my survival, I will eat the cream corn. But I'm not going to promise I won't punch a midget in the face the first time I see one.
Yeah. Kick a baby,
No,
choke a puppy,
Yeah.
drown a cat.
cats and puppies have nothing to do with cream corn, but that midget probably works at
Cats are
the
satanic.
canning
Cats are
place.
satanic.
Hey, Larry,
Yeah.
how's it going tonight? You know this guy. You know that
Oh,
guy.
hey.
Yeah, Larry's in the house tonight.
I will eat cream corn if it means I survive, but only so I can survive long enough to destroy all who create cream corn.
Man, like them poor old people that like chew normal corn and then spit it back into a can.
No, eat the
And then-
tapioca, woman. Eat the tapioca, not the cream corn.
That's how they make cream corn.
Oh, no.
Okay, that's fair. Totally
Probably
fair.
goes to do research.
It's Amelie. It's Amelie.
Oh, I'm sorry, everyone. Larry, good evening, man. It's good to have you in the house. Hey, PJ and Ashley. What's PJ say there? PJ says, pay attention to the local pages. For instance, our citizen page now posts about ABCD, EFG, LBGTQ, LMNOP, QRS, Pride regularly. It has recently started posting about students now doing a weekly ICE protest in town. Wow. And people in hell want what?
Lukewarm water. They're coping. Hashtag Copistan.
Man, they have all the ice in Minnesota apparently. So that means Minnesota is hell.
Yep. Pretty much.
All right. Well, moving right along. We're getting canceled this evening. All right. Will, this is a financial question that has to do with some part of your background. I won't tell anybody.
Oh boy.
What? But the U.S. dollar. Let's migrate. Let's shift to that, right? Everybody's paying attention to the silver prices. Like, it's weird. Everyone here have some kind of cryptocurrency. You
All
guys
of
in the crowd have crypto? Anybody?
Yep.
Anybody out there have silver? Tell us in the comments if you have any silver or precious metals. Tell us exactly how much and where you keep it.
And the combination of your safe.
What's true?
Which side of the mattress? What can it's-
Which sock
Well,
drawer?
these people, they actually put OPSEC in it as their digital pass key to their OPSEC.
1, 2, 3. Upset.
Silver's at $93.47 an ounce right now.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Silver is it's a hot commodity right now. Gold is the Kyle made a cool post about the silver and gold traders that are going around making
Gold is
small fortunes.
$4,670.12 at the moment.
Isn't that
Guys, I actually
fascinating?
have a really cool story. Can I interject?
Yeah, please come on in.
I don't know, Will, if you knew this, but at the spring camp out, my son lost his wallet. And
Oh
you
yeah.
guys know that a few members of MPP actually heard about this. And
Community
there were
strong.
about 5 different people who gave him some cash and or silver as a, hey, I'm sorry, and the wallet never got found. Titus took some of the cash and the silver and turned it into about $200 worth of silver in the spring.
Oh.
the fall camp out,
Oh.
he brought cash and started buying silver. Is it Mr. Tom who
Yeah,
sells the silver?
Tom, yeah.
Tom from Tom's Prepper
And
Hub.
Titus
Good evening, James.
would hustle the other kids for their gear, resell it, take the cash, and he ended up with over $300 worth of silver
That's awesome.
in the fall. He used ChatGPT to check on it right before Christmas, and he found that his silver was now worth almost $700.
Yeah.
And so he had me take him to a silver guy, and Titus has a little bag, and he starts pulling out 5 ounce, and a bunch of ounces, and the guy asks my son, where did you get all this? And Titus goes, it's none of your business.
I'm a hustler.
Yeah.
Close to $700 in cash.
Nice.
And it was because of the gentlemen at MPP who were gracious enough to give him some compensation after he lost his wallet.
Outstanding.
Incredible.
So he was able to double his funds. It was wild.
What a testament to not only, you know, your son's diligence and following his father's entrepreneurial mindset, but to the power of community,
Yep.
stepping up, doing the right thing when no one was watching, because obviously it's easy to turn your head and say, oh, that sucks for him. But for us to have done that and gave him the opportunity to, again, find a really cool opportunity to stuff some real coin in his, I guess it's not real, it's technically it's fiat, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Very, very cool.
It was
Very
awesome,
cool.
guys. He was really
Nice.
happy.
So, Will,
Dollars.
the US dollar
Dollars. Yeah, sorry.
seriously stumbles or outright collapses in the next few days. What is the first thing rural Americans will feel differently about within 30 days that city folks might not even recognize at first?
Mm.
It'll hit harder for rural people than it will the city people. The first thing that comes to mind is gasoline, just because of how much more you travel.
Mm.
Because it's like in the city, you can walk from point A to point B largely. Whereas if you live out in the middle of nowhere, it's like 30 minutes to the nearest anything.
It's me.
Yeah, same. I mean, it's 30 minutes to the nearest gas station. Like you
Yeah.
can't, people be like 45 minutes. That's quite the drive. And I'm like, yeah, guess what? Anywhere is 45 minutes. Walmart's an hour away. Like but for that reason, a good number of rural people likely, I mean, myself included, have a decent amount of gasoline on hand. You cycle it out, obviously, but it's still not going to last you that long, especially if that's your only thing.
The half-life on that is how long?
Like you got 6 months before you got
Really?
Yeah, you
Stay billet,
yeah,
you might get 2 years.
yeah, it ain't. You don't got long on gas.
Yeah,
Wow.
it's going to destroy your injectors and everything else after.
Carbs can
Yep.
do that.
You don't use gas after it's been sitting for 6
And you
months. Use it
shouldn't
for
be
a bonfire.
storing 87 octane either.
No.
If you're storing, it's 91.
At
Yeah.
that point, you just add styrofoam to it until the styrofoam stops. Working,
Hey.
Never mind.
I would say the rural people would also be suffering with if they didn't plan their propane accordingly.
Yeah,
Because there's nobody in rural America that's on natural gas.
See, part of me,
They're all on propane.
when I think about it, the first thing I'm thinking about is gas, is because the propane's relatively shelf-stable. I have enough for usually 2 years on hand.
Yeah.
So I've got enough where I'm like, it doesn't hit me. My neighbors, I mean, I'm not sure where they sit, but most of them got between 500 and 1,000
I know people
gallons.
have to plan their annual propane purchases, and the propane companies will contact them 6 months ahead. Do you want to buy now
Yeah.
at current prices before the prices get jacked up? And once the prices are jacked up in the years past, you couldn't get it if you didn't get it by a certain time.
Yeah.
And your house runs on propane. You know, if you can't go anywhere with gas, you can still stay home and warm if you have propane
And power to run your furnace.
and power to run your furnace.
You really think that's going to be the biggest thing that hits them, huh?
So you think fuel
Yeah, fuel.
Wow.
or the ability
Absolutely.
to travel? Well,
I mean,
think about
most of them have food on hand.
Mhm.
Okay, my house, the only utility that I use is electricity. It is the
Okay.
only utility that I use. My neighbors are in a comparable situation. Everything else that I'm getting is either on my property or coming out of the ground.
Mm.
So I got a propane tank. Like I said, it lasts about 2 years for me. I got to have it refilled every 2 years, but I usually refill it a year ahead. So at worst, I've got a year on hand.
Brian's comment.
My man, thank you, brother. I appreciate that. My dog.
Patrick's shirt is worth more than silver.
Oh, yeah, it is.
This is my SpongeBob and Patrick shirt. If you guys at home can't see that, because you know it's SpongeBob and Patrick. Anyway,
Without all the ADHD.
Is there something else that's
Yes.
coming to your mind?
No, I'm learning as we go.
Oh yeah, I'm just thinking because I'm like,
not out rural myself yet.
I've got enough food that I'm not like I'm not going to be that
Yeah.
concerned about food for that long, and I can via my own land acquire a decent amount of
And you've
food.
got enough tools to do makeshift things as
Yeah,
you need.
I mean, the only other thing that I would be, and this is tangentially related to dollar electricity,
Mhm.
but I don't have enough solar panels to entirely support my home, but I have enough for certain critical systems that, again, I'm not like,
Yeah.
oh no electricity. I'm like, yeah, it's gonna suck a little.
But that's a lifestyle thing too,
Yeah.
right? Like in the rural community that you're
Well, you need most homesteads are going to be running on their water as electrical,
in. Mhm.
so that there's that component as well. Now,
I just mean you're not worried about like a PS5 and
No.
a Game
Yeah.
Boy
Yeah.
computer.
yeah,
Like there's a lifestyle component to the amount of electricity that would actually keep your family sustained.
Yeah.
Well, quick side bar trivia question for you guys. When was the Great Depression? Anyone know? Top of your head?
1929.
Okay, 1929 to what?
1929, 1938, or 1939. It was a decade.
Yep.
Yeah.
So for a good part of a decade, we lived in this country through what we're talking about now, or people in that time. Do we have anybody in the crowd that was alive or grew up on stories of the Great Depression? I know my grandparents talked wholeheartedly about it. They
At the same time as the Dust Bowl, too.
yes, they were Okies in the Dust Bowl era that migrated to California and had to come back.
but I'm thinking people that are like living rurally that are working jobs that are not at their home.
Yeah, they have
And
to
in
get
time
home.
like that, it's like now your job is much more difficult to sustain, to say the
Yeah.
least.
that's where I was going with that.
Yeah, so it's like
100 to 120 years ago, people lived where they worked.
Mhm.
They lived where they farmed.
They were dirt
They
farmers.
lived where
Yep.
they got food. You didn't travel 30 minutes into town to get McDonald's or Dillon's.
right.
You didn't have
You-
DoorDash.
You did not have DoorDash. And so the same thing with those rural people, I think to Kyle's point or his line of questioning is, would it really be fuel? Or is it food? Is it water? Is it the medicines that keep you from keeling over, having a blood sugar attack, whatever it is, right?
All of that still revolves on fuel, though.
Yeah.
I think it
All of
does.
it. You have to
Transportation,
get those things to market
Yeah.
to
And it's-
begin with to be able to get it, and then you have to be able to get to where it is. So fuel is still the backbone of all modern
And
and
economy.
that
Pharmacy,
immediate need
milkman.
too. It's like
Yep.
your fuel in rural setting,
Yeah.
you're running out of it faster. As soon as it's out, your options to actually get anything else is
Yep.
limited now to. I mean, granted, you can semi-rely on your neighbors for certain needs, but I mean, for like any level of economy of scale, you need logistical support, and
Yep.
if without fuel, and then beyond that too, it's like, yes, in the Midwest we'll have like, yeah, we'll have cattle, we'll have corn. How long does that really last when we don't have the support systems we're used to having?
Especially through a harsh winter.
Yeah, and then it's it's like, oh yeah, I got my bees. Okay, well then beetles. Whoopsies, there they all go. I got whatever it is. Yeah, it
Mice.
goes away.
I have
it goes
tomatoes.
away
I
with
have
an
blister
incident.
beetles,
Yeah.
or
And
yeah.
granted, you can build it like a group like MPP is giving you the option of building like micro communities that have better logistical infrastructure, like intrinsically at a local level, which helps. But use like
But even your
none of
house
us are
and
that
my
close to
house,
each other. Yeah, like, even the ones of us that are
Not
closer,
close.
it's still like I would reasonably to get to either anyone's home. I still need a car with fuel. Otherwise, what am I going to do? Walk there over 12 days? Maybe
Yeah.
15 days.
Horse and wagon. If
That
you
is
can
a-
build it.
Yeah,
Right?
but where am I getting my horse from?
Exactly.
Yeah,
That's a great driven point because, again, both of you guys reside in the KC metro area.
Yeah.
But in the grand scheme of things, as the crow flies, take your vehicles away. And now it's a 6-day to a 2-week long trek going back and forth from one place to the other through hostile territory. Like think about the, cowboys crossing the plains and, the day where everybody was like, oh, we're going to get scalped. What do you think that's going to be like going across a hunger driven wasteland? Like, yeah, right.
this is recent for me, so apologies if I got too far down this rabbit trail. Stop me. Me and my friends created a modified tabletop game for the purpose of kind of game playing some of these ideas. But what we
He's drinking the good stuff.
Bushmills.
determined
Black
was
Bush.
So good.
so quickly, like logistical, like a side market of logistics would become one of the biggest things because it would just everything would rely on it. Like I need to get something from point A to point B, but also safely intact in a reasonable time frame, and they need the logistical support to get fuel, right? And if everything isn't already constructed around it, if everything just kind of one day,
Yeah, that infrastructure is going to be a wild game.
yeah. And okay, well, I need to get everything is more or less via road, via vehicle. If I need to get something from the East Coast to the West Coast, now I need them to carry enough fuel to get from the East Coast to the West Coast if they don't have the logistical support to do so otherwise. They also need to have sufficient food and water for each personnel on it. And on top of all of that, if there's this concern of like there's a risk of threat or whatever, now we need them to also be capable of defending themselves through said travel. So it's like fuel is very significant.
That is a fantastically grounded point, as I knew only Will could make. So, in my only recourse to that answer is there's a song by the Rubber Bandits. I would encourage all of you to go out and look up. It's called "Screw Your Subaru." I've got a horse outside. It's a real song. You'll like it. You'll be like, "Damn, Patrick, that's actually pretty good." Yeah, but it's not. They don't say "Screw Your Subaru." It's but yes. So we're at the top of the half hour. As all of you know, we could not do this without you loving people that are out there harassing us, giving us a hard time, or just telling us we're doing a good job and that you appreciate all of our hard work and effort into wearing these really cool shirts. As well as the sponsors that donate stuff to help us put on a really cool festival, finance these StreamYard platforms and everything else that we do throughout the year. Bobby, would you like to talk a little bit about some of the people that we want to give some love back to?
Yeah, let's talk about three things tonight. First and foremost, don't forget the Midwest Preparedness Project is part of a much larger project called the Great American Preparedness Tour. So please go to preparednesstour.com and you will find out information about us, our events, the 2 events we put on each year, plus all of the sister events that we have, which is Kentucky Sustainable Living and Self-Reliance Festival. You will find me at one, if not both of those festivals this year. I will be emceeing for Kentucky Sustainable Living as well as our own here at Midwest Preparedness. And you will generally find me at Self-Reliance Festival also. So make sure you go to the Great American Preparedness Tour.
The Preparedness Tour.
ThePreparednessTour.com. Get your tokens, send us proof of life, send us pictures, and you will get your Christmas present at the end of the year.
Limited edition.
Limited edition, Mora knife that says the Great American Preparedness Tour, laser engraved on the 511's blade.
Beautiful.
Our sponsors tonight that we would like to highlight, our good friend Rebecca from Red Flyer Media. Red Flyer Media is the official media of the Great American Preparedness Tour. Speaking of which, she goes to all the festivals. She chronicles everything electronically. She works with our guy, the Todd, and they do all the AV stuff for everything we do. So all the videos you see that come out of the Midwest Preparedness Projects festivals come
live streams,
because Todd and Rebecca work together. And Rebecca, Todd's our guy. The Todd is part of Midwest, but Rebecca comes from parts and places beyond with Red Flyer Media to make sure that we are heard, seen, and understood. So please make sure if you have any needs for AV support, check out Red Flyer Media.
She's the wizard of the red coat.
She is the wizard of the red coat. Second sponsor we would like to highlight tonight is Freedom Auto Sales here in Topeka, Kansas. If you're a Jeep person, you can get your Jeep. If you're a used car person, you will find the best used cars at Freedom Auto Sales. You will not find the $200 jalopies that are going to break down 5 minutes down the road. You are going to find the best used vehicles, and they are a Jeep Liberty dealer as well. So you're going to find all sorts of cool stuff there. Rick is a very good friend. He's a big supporter of Midwest Preparedness Project. So if you're looking to get your college daughter her first vehicle that's going to be reliable to get from point A to point B before the collapse when fuel is no longer a thing where you can find it, please go to Freedom Auto Sales, talk to Rick, let him know that we sent you over, and go purchase a quality used car or Jeep product.
There's a link on our website at MidwestPreparednessProject.com. About halfway down on the page, shows Rick and his beautiful family. Just click on that, and it'll take you right to his inventory, where you too can have a cool car like us.
You're welcome, Rebecca. We love you too.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. You're an awesome person, and I don't know.
Keep up the work on DMSO.
Yes, thank you for staying on top of that. It's a strange, strange world where people like Rebecca are out there, like giving us more truth of what's going on than ABC.
Than
NBC,
Fauci?
Than
oh!
the Fauci ouchie. Yes, that's right.
DMSO. I don't know that acronym.
You can go to Tractor Supply and get it for $30. DMSO is essentially a cream salve you put on your body that helps you absorb other things. But most of the medical professionals most of the medical professionals we know in our circles have said that if they could go to an island and only have one item, it would be DMSO. I've used it for healing a broken toe. I've used it for back pain. I've used it for neck pain, but it can also be used to rapidly absorb other things into your system. And it can be used for everything from head injuries all the way to broken bones.
Yeah, a lot of people like to take and partner DMSO with ivermectin and fenbendazole and use that as like a 5-day or 7-day binder. Because again, going through, if you're detoxing worms or parasites in the body, you can only stay on that ivermectin fenben regimen for so long, and then you're passing that through your system. And if you wait too long or you don't have a binder to keep that in your system, it's just going to pass right through you. The parasites
kind of like vitamin C pills give you 800% of your daily news,
Yes.
and you fart out most of it. So
very much so.
Hey, Rebecca, feel free to put your X channel in the comments if you want people to come see what you're doing with DMSO.
Please and thank you. Yes, put a link out there. We'd love that. In fact, in the comments later on, we'll go back through and we'll put that in at the end of the video. Okay, so moving right along, let's give Kyle another hard one. Yeah.
Would you like to rephrase that, sir? We're a bunch of guys sitting around a table.
I meant the high hard one.
Would DMSO just help?
I mean,
it absorbs.
It also keeps it prevents chafing.
Like pantyhose on a man.
Whoa, sir. Well, this is not that kind of show.
I have watched Mrs. Doubtfire. I know it's true.
Yeah. But Robin Williams did kill himself, so
well, that's true. Unfortunately.
Did he though?
Was it Courtney Love there too?
I mean, who knows? Okay, Kyle. In Kansas City, if Kansas City sees real unrest, what's the worst messaging mistake organizations and leaders like ours can make in the first 48 hours?
Nice.
And what should they be saying instead?
Damn.
It's a great question. Bobby and I were just talking earlier that KCMO as a greater metro is more of a purple city than many would like to admit.
Yeah.
Right.
Aside from Johnson County.
Aside from Johnson County. Yeah, it's got its lavender. Man, I think the worst messaging that could come through is we're the government and we're here to help.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that there are sectors of Kansas City, and I don't even just mean geographically, I mean psychologically, there are sectors of Kansas City that will be relieved to take a handout, will be relieved to take a place in line to get supplies. And that type of segregation of people getting supplies versus those that are handing it out would probably be the worst thing that we could see our local government do.
I love that.
Agreed.
Yeah.
I love that. So clear lines of communication and less disinformation. So again, towing the line from a stoic perspective, keeping people on track rather than squirreling out to the random piles of bricks just left in intersection somewhere.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that.
Yeah, I got to move out of Baltimore City the day of the Baltimore riots. So I got to kind of see, and I was with a group of pastors who were trying to help quell the squalor that was happening because they knew a lot of youth were taking mixed messages from the media.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of watched it happen in Baltimore that the government said, hey, everybody, stay put, stay in your house. We're here to help. And then the pastors are trying to unite their local communities, but people wanted to sit still and complain. And I watched complacency turn into anger.
Yep.
And if Kansas City's messaging were to be just sit still and we'll figure this out, I think it'd be one of the worst things for our community, because there are a lot of sectors of Kansas City that would want to help, want to be a part of the solution. And I think you've got to be able to arm people to do that in a positive manner.
Yeah. And words matter, especially from people that are looked up to or held in high esteem. People that in leadership roles, like in the mags that we push forth in Lee Summit and Topeka, there's a good chance there's someone out there that's going to say, Kyle, what do I do next?
Right.
Bobby, what am I going to do now? How am I going to get my kid the last can of creamed corn?
Damn it. Give it to him. As long as you're not eating it, someone else is.
Right. Yeah. Great answer. Zeg, if you wouldn't mind posting that Reagan comment for the rest of the class, that'd be fantastic. I think I know the one you're talking about. It's the one about freedom. Okay, so
Or I'm from the government and I'm here to help.
Yeah.
Or I'm from the government and
No.
I'm here to help. Yeah, that was classic. All right.
Yeah.
Let's move to another one. So we're going to shift gears completely. We're gonna drop it down to third gear. We were in fifth gear, and I apologize for the cream corn comments. I know that it's a lot.
You do.
Hashtag triggered. The greatest cream corn, the triggered cream corn.
Everybody tells us our cream corn is the greatest cream corn. All right, Bobby.
Oh, okay. Yep.
A global pole shift.
Okay.
It sounds like sci-fi to most people, right? Most people don't even know what the South Atlantic anomaly is.
Now on the west side of South America, by the way.
It actually goes all the way from the western shores of South America all the way to the tip of South Africa now. It is massive in size, and it is growing rapidly every single day. But a global pole shift sounds like sci-fi to most people, but if it does happen within the next 2 to 3 years before Trump does make America great again.
Okay.
What
Cool story, bro.
what practical?
And then he pulled the sword from the stone. Yeah, I remember this story. Right?
Yes. Okay.
Right.
we're all on the
Yeah,
same
I got
page.
you.
What practical Midwest impacts would we see first? Weather, crops, infrastructure, or something else? Pole shift.
If you're talking a true pole shift, you will see all at once. You're going to see tectonic plate break apart, and we have the Great Madrid Fault that runs through the Midwest. You are going to see earthquakes in the Midwest that are normally reserved for places like the Pacific Rim.
Yep.
So if we're talking a true pole shift where everything happens at once, you're talking ice age. You're talking volcanic stuff that spews ash into the atmosphere, creating another Younger Dryas. There is almost no surviving that. That's global cataclysm.
Speak for yourself, bro. I might live.
Well, that's just because you're a shade darker than me. You're not going to burn as quick.
Maybe.
It depends on who gets to that underground bunker in the Northland first.
That's right. You know, if we get to the well, maybe.
Got that
Plate tectonics completely changes everything.
If you could drop the password to the door, that'd be great.
Where's the seed vault? I was told there would be a seed vault. Yeah, no, pole shift is game over, man. That's beyond Yellowstone. That's Yellowstone times 1,000 across the entire globe. So if that happens, I hope you're right with your God.
Yeah, that's a hard one. So you're saying that all of these things will be affected from
All of them.
weather patterns, crops,
Yep.
local infrastructure,
Everything. Weather patterns will change. This is why we don't prep for things like that, because you're chasing the dragon and you'll never be at step 1, let alone 2 through 9.
One of my biggest, concerns with the pole shift theory, and there's been plenty of people out there that have prophesized or been known as seers or whatever regarding pole shift or the future of the planet, is if you really think about it, put it in context, if we do go through a pole shift, I mean, if you're just going back contextually through history, like you have periods of time like where during the age of Jericho in the Bible, the sun stood still for how many days?
5, right?
7.
7.
7 days.
Wow.
7 days, the sun stood still. And there is a chance that, as some people would say, that they actually had experienced some type of a polar shift or a geomagnetic lock with the moon, where the moon stopped gravitationally pulling the planet on its axis. And so as the moon and the sun and the earth all work together, it caused all these weird things. And the walls come tumbling down because there was a massive earthquake. But we don't talk about that, and that there was infrastructures and chinks in the armor, so to speak. But again, going back to my point, if there were a pole shift, and if the world did stop spinning on its axis due to the magnetic poles flipping or the moon stopping to pull the tide, my thought is that what happens when you jump into a bathtub of water?
You displace it.
You displace the water.
Yeah.
So in the same theory, there's more water on the planet than there is land. And if the land stops moving, the water doesn't know any better.
It continues to go. You get tsunamis.
Now you've got mega tsunamis, like Noah's flood level tsunamis, washing over every continent around the world at the same time. So you're right. That would be very catastrophic. I think that would be bad. That would be so bad. Anyways.
Trump's wall won't stop that kind of flood.
No. Good luck.
Oceans.
There was a website a few years back called Deagle.com.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys followed Deagle, but Deagle showed global population estimates around the world, and it all changed around 9/11. So post 9/11, all of those numbers have now been erroneously and fictitiously bloated.
Yes.
But prior to that, it showed that every area, the major population area around the globe, with the exceptions of those living around the equator, decreased by 80 to 90% in population, while the areas around the equator grew by 80 to 90% in population. And the hypothesis is that there would be some type of either one, a thermonuclear war which devastated the highly populated areas where ICBMs and things like that are stored, or two, there was some type of pole shift or a geomagnetic lock or a younger dryas period where people were forced to migrate away from, say, Canada, where it now becomes the ultra subglacier North Pole, South Pole, and somewhere closer to where the heat is, right? The warmth is. So that's some very interesting.
Literally chasing the dragon.
Literally chasing the dragon, my friend. Good answer. Good answer.
Could you guys talk about the mindset that people end up in? Because as somebody who's newer to this than you guys, all of you, like online, the prepper persona is to chase that dragon so hard.
Yeah.
And it to me is like it's more Ouroboros than anything else. You're chasing your tail.
You are.
Can you guys just comment on that? I know a lot of people want to get into prepping but are afraid.
Sure. I would say if you get into prepping because you're worried about pole shifts or Yellowstone going up, or if you're worried about thermonuclear war, if you're worried about global cataclysm, you're jumping into this for the wrong reason. Preparedness should be more about hope, and it should be more about actually mitigating real things that happen every day. It's kind of like politically, if you argue about what was 9/11, my question is, who gives a shit? Nothing's going to happen if you come to the truth. So why chase that dragon? What I can say is if it happens again, I have food, I have water, I have medicine, I have fuel, I have the ability to mitigate another 9/11 versus spending 22 years arguing about who did it, how it happened, which groups of people were responsible. And prepping has to be viewed the same way. I don't care if a global or if a pole shift is coming. There's nothing I can do to stop it.
Yeah.
What can I actually plan for? I can plan for civil unrest. I can plan for the dollar going down. I can plan for a drought. I can plan for crop shortages. I can plan for another pandemic. Those are the things I can realistically plan for. So if you mitigate those things and you tackle those items one at a time, eventually you'll get to the point where you're like, yeah, if a giant 5,000-foot wave from the Pacific comes, I've lived a life worth living and it doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah, following in the footsteps of our good friend T.J. Morris, Bear Independent.
Yeah.
I have never, in my knowledge, to the best of my ability, been probed by the Draconian or Pleiadian aliens as they came down to invade America. But I have had to go help friends put out fires in their field.
Yeah.
Or rebuild after a storm or a flood or fill in the blank. So real life scenarios, building the mutual assistance groups, those concentric rings within rings that we talk about when you're building a community group like we are. Those are the things that I think I would encourage those people that are just getting their feet wet into, as that's a good starting point. Real hope for real scenarios, not false hope for ones that will probably never happen. That's right. Why focus on the sci-fi when you should focus on the real? Go ahead, Will.
Objective 1, improve life today. Objective 2, improve life tomorrow.
Yep.
Objective 3, secure that tomorrow will be an improved day, regardless of how tomorrow goes.
Yes.
Objective 4, ensure that the people around me have a similar lifestyle so that they too can enjoy an improved lifestyle.
Practical and
That's
pragmatic.
super practical. Is that from something?
No.
No.
It's
Just
from
came
Will.
up with that on the spot.
Great.
That's a t-shirt.
Yeah.
That's a t-shirt. Jules is saying she'll buy one right now.
Yeah.
That was really good.
That is from our
No,
very
that's
own
great, Will.
Kansas City's Peter Parker, Riverside Will.
I
This is what happens when you let me drink.
Ah!
Huzzah! That was a great answer. Great
That
answer.
was actually a fantastic. You need to write that down.
You
Great
really-
round of
It's
questions.
recorded.
Yeah,
It is. It is.
Yeah,
We're gonna
we
make
got
a short out of that later.
patented, copyrighted, right there.
Trademark.
All right. So we asked you about the evils of cream corn, Bobby Boucher.
Yes, sir.
We've asked you about A global pole shift.
Bullshit.
Yes.
Yeah, that one.
Not a pole sit. Pole shift.
Watch your language. This is a family show, sir.
It was until about 30 seconds ago.
I think we have a content warning on the front, so we're good.
Yeah, we're
It's true.
fine.
It does say.
Adult content.
It does say that.
Kids, why are you still watching? Actually, honestly, they're pretty cool.
We've talked
cool
about
of you to watch.
information warfare. We've talked about riots and the potential. We've talked about dollar collapses. Let's go to. Let's go to the speed round.
Ooh, okay.
All right. So this is open-ended questions, short, sweet, simple answers. Just right off the top of your head. No depth of thought. Just what rolls off the tongue. Reactionary. And so I'm just going to randomly spin the selector switch in my head and point to one of you to which you will answer with the best of your abilities. So
Bullshit.
Bobby,
This is 2020 election right here.
It's a little weighted. It's a little.
I'm hitting the RNG and it's always 13. I don't get it.
try again to get the bonus prize. Bobby,
Yes.
cream corn survives the apocalypse. Eat it or burn it.
I guess you got to eat it at that point.
All
You're
right.
breaking this poor man down.
Fair.
Oh, worship at the altar of the cream corn. You can shut the hell up for a minute.
Nihilism or eat
Welcome to
corn.
2026. We're gonna waterboard you with cream corn, buddy.
People at the Spring Festival are going to be like, why are they throwing corn in the fire?
Why are all these cream like there's
We
gonna be-
brought the offering. It's the perfect red cream corn, got a gray hair on it.
it's gonna be the altar of the cream corn?
Oh, if you know, you know. Wah, wah, wah.
Children of the corn?
If you
Children of
collect
the
all of your
cream
tokens, you'll
corn.
get a signed can. No, never mind.
Oh, we should do that in 2027. A signed can of cream corn by every
Yes.
member of the tour.
All right.
$50
For 50
you already did.
Yeah, we already did. All right, Will. If the New Madrid fault blows tomorrow, do you bug in or bug out?
Ooh. Where is it?
Plug in.
Mississippi.
You were struggling on that one. You were strained for an answer.
It's east of us.
Okay.
I refuse to bug out for any reason. Pew! There you go.
All right, fair.
I'll die at my property.
Looking out as Rick Grimes who points this thing like this.
Yeah. We can do it together.
Kyle, if aliens land in Kansas City and not the Minnesota riot kind of aliens,
Okay.
if aliens land in Kansas
Right,
City,
right,
No daycares.
right at LDS in 8 minutes.
there's a neutral zone
Yeah,
there. Anyways, perfect, Riley. If the damn it, if the aliens land in Kansas City,
We were going to heaven.
what's the first law that you would enforce or break in your personal tribe?
Oh, damn.
Ooh, enforce
Or break.
We
Or-
have to get out of Kansas City. They land here. There's no reason they're here for peace.
I've seen Independence Day. They've got the big.
Yeah, I've seen that building top.
It's fluoride.
That's straight
It's
up
for your
That's
teeth.
straight up get out of Dodge. I'd be breaking
War of the
all
Worlds.
Yeah,
Independence Day.
it's literally Independence Day. Bethlehem at its finest.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, I'd be bugging out.
Oh.
I mean, if they're here for peace, that's great. I'll let the people who want to, politicize that happen.
Who want a piece of
I'm
that?
out.
So, what law do you enforce or you break inside
All
your
of
tribe?
them. Speeding, shooting people in Kansas City.
All right. So, the Exodus.
Yeah, it's straight Exodus.
So, you're gathering your tribe. You guys are
We're
making a
out.
beeline for that bunker because
Yep.
shit's about to go down.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, I have no philosophical on whether they're real or not, but if that
Riley.
happens, if they pick
Oh, here
Kansas
comes
City, it's
Lucy.
not for good reasons.
Yep.
There's enough sin in that city.
Oh, it would be horrendous.
Oh, they're here for the pronouns.
Oh, oh, maybe. All right. Timo D. Bobby Boucher.
Damn it. Racism.
If Bigfoot is seen siding with the Russia, China, Iranians in World War III, Is that considered a morale boost or a nightmare scenario for you?
Russia, China, and Iran.
Sided with Bigfoot. A squad of Bigfoots
That is
leading
good.
a battalion out of
That
Colorado.
is good for morale because I call that a target-rich environment.
Oh yeah, I love this. You know what? I thought the exact same thing when I answered this question in my head. Meat's on the Bigfoot's on the table, boys.
Bigfoot's on the menu, boys. I don't own high-capacity magazines because, well, I joined the team more.
Bigfoot vodka is just a wild mental image, though.
Burnt, get Bigfoot stew?
Literally burnt ends.
Oh.
It tastes like brimstone.
Hey, you know what? Bigfoot probably is pretty good. You know, barbecued.
What's
And
that? Isn't it
Like Low and Slow?
Kitchen? Isn't that the best episode?
Yeah.
you know what?
Survival kitchen where's the prepper and the
Yeah.
gourmet chef.
Yeah.
And the gourmet chef's like, I want the mushrooms. And,
This
and the
is-
prepper's like, you're going to die.
Bigfoot would never betray us.
This is why I love Sam. That's why I love Sam.
Real talk, Sam. Real
It's a
talk.
fake Bigfoot.
It's the Yeti.
So
Yeah,
what
it's
he's
gotta be
saying
Yeti, yeah.
is Bigfoot would like pretend to side with the Russia, China, Iranians just so he can infiltrate them and explode a thermonuclear warhead right in the middle of their camp.
Unpopular opinion, Russia and America should be friends and Bigfoot will be on our sides and we can kill the people who love Yeti, which is the Chinese. Just saying.
Okay, the Himalayans, you're
Yep,
going down.
yep,
Sorry.
yep.
Bigfoot is an OG American patriot. Thank you very much.
Sam Squinch, Ricky, it's a Sam Squinch.
He's
You
the
guys see
king
that
of hide
one
and seek.
meme where Bigfoot is the
tastes like
bastard child of Chuck Norris?
Yes. Yes.
That is a good one. That is
Yep.
a fantastic one.
Love that.
All right, lightning round one more time.
It's Emu, you're already out.
Will.
Mm.
The U.S. dollar collapses. Gold, guns, or groceries first?
Ooh. Ooh.
Easy.
Like
No,
acquire.
you're thinking about it.
Sorry,
Stop thinking-
acquire now or have already?
Yeah,
Acquire
that's
now.
acquire.
Oh, don't do that. Don't do that.
We just got canceled.
That's brandishing. We're going to get canceled.
Yeah, we did totally not. Sam, you know something about that.
You didn't see anything.
It was a stick figure from stickdeath.com, 2001.
That's an airsoft.
It
That's an
is
airsoft.
airsoft.
Actually, genuine. That's an airsoft. Yeah.
It is
yeah,
literally
yeah.
airsoft.
Yeah. So, guns, right? I guess. Yeah. I mean, you know.
He's going for the guns, children.
Yay!
Not the airsoft kind, but the other kind. Yes.
Paintball. Duh.
Yes.
Paintball. Yeah.
Paintball.
Yeah, I do. I do the speedball kind. Yeah, that trigger just if that's not full auto. Full auto is not allowed in building.
Those guns that it's the pepper spray guns.
Yeah,
The burner.
The Burnhams.
I used to sell those.
Advertised to grandmas now.
Yeah.
Those are
Yeah.
the best.
I
Legal in all 50 states.
I still have a stock of like 3 of them bad boys
Do
from my
you?
store. Yeah,
We should talk. I've got a grandma.
yeah.
We need to give one away in a future festival, Will.
Spicy grandma.
Yes, the Burna Spicy Pepper Ball gun.
We hear you, Dad. I see
Yeah.
you.
All right. Let's see here. We went through China, New Madrid Fall. Okay, lightning round is over. Back
It's
to the
still
normal
here.
questions.
Holy shit.
Yeah,
Hell,
with paintball. It's paintball.
That's why we put him in charge of marketing,
Airsoft.
folks. He can beat the YouTube algorithm.
Yeah. All right. Let's slide back around to Kyle since Kyle is on a roll. We're going to follow in that train of thought. So, Kyle.
Like that's
All right. Serious question though, but this is a serious question that is obviously disguised as a ridiculous one.
All right.
Super
Just to
cereal.
preface it. Okay.
Super cereal.
If something completely unexpected enters the global conflict picture, whether it's AI, biotech, Bigfoot, Elon Musk as the Antichrist, whatever, how unprepared is the public for paradigm shifting realities such as that?
Man, I mean, media has done such a good job of planting so many different reality ideas that I think a lot of people are going to take it. I really do. I was just talking to somebody the other day who didn't know at the age of 26 that like your debit card is attached to your bank account.
It just prints money.
And I was talking to people who didn't realize that like, what you write on social media doesn't just go to your friends. Like it's out there.
Yeah.
Forever.
And I think there's such a lack of awareness of reality. I think people are going to take it. I think people are going to, there's going to be the rationalized side and there's going to be the freak out side.
Mhm.
But I think they've built so many realities into the media, into the narratives, that people are just, I think a majority of people, especially the ones around major cities, not even like in the US, but I think people who are dependent on the ecosystem of a major city or hub are going to have to take it to continue living.
Yeah.
I really think it's just going to get, swallowed.
So, from a preparedness perspective, how do you think people will react?
I think there's going to be I think there's going to be two camps of preppers that I've learned about so far. There's going to be the highly reactionary, where is my militia and my radio and my belt of beans and bullets? But I think there's going to be some quick and important groups that either vanish or start to discuss what some of those kind of SOPs in that kind of scenario are. So three, there's going to be the people who brandish and go crazy and emotionally militia about it. I think there's going to be people who go off grid and kind of ghost out, but I think there is going to be a contingent that tries to rally around how to build communal resources and how to suss out whether this is real and what to do with it. I think there's going to be a pretty split three-way camp setup that just goes three different ways.
Yeah, so that and I say that I ask you that question as you referenced earlier some of those folks that are new to the prepping world, the ideology behind why you prepared, and it's more of a to be ready versus a fear-based mindset, which is what the media wants to drive, right? As
Fear
all,
sells.
that's it. That's exactly it. And
It just sells.
I think the phrase that was uttered a while back was to never let a
Good crisis go to waste.
go to waste.
Yep.
The media now, that's their narrative. So every story that comes out typically is driven by that same model, because again, fear does sell. In the world of sex and war and fear, those three, man, they're always in the headlines. So good answer.
Where did you ever see yourself in a world where it was right wingers calling for medical reforms and calling for medical subsidies, and it was left wingers sitting with AR-15s on street corners fighting the feds?
Yeah,
just
that's the world you live in right
just
now.
The food pyramid inversion.
Yeah, where we're finally like, bread might not be the best thing for you.
Or RFK doing the interview about psychedelics and their use in the medical field.
Yeah,
like this is a different world.
It's a different world.
The other thing that you touched on that I find really interesting is there's you can almost draw a line. There's almost a cutoff. It's almost a clean cutoff of there's an age at which, at this point, there are people who above that age are mourning the loss of facts. Like they're still in the grieving process.
Yeah.
And there's an age at that, like below that cutoff line, there's a distinct group of individuals who they have lived and grown up and become adults and been young adults and teenagers and children in a world wherein there is no such thing as fact.
Yeah.
Right.
And a large contingent of our community is that group that is mourning the loss of facts.
Yeah.
And I think they don't realize that the reality of a younger person who is beneath that cutoff line, who's lived in a world without capital F or lowercase f facts their entire life, what that does to a person's worldview and who they will become as adults.
What's a priority? What is purpose?
You bet.
Questions are totally different.
And the lack of grounding in their behavior and what that will lead to, and how not only just manipulable they are, like just how meldable they are to the situation, but like their morality is a thing that can be changed immediately depending on circumstance.
Right. Situation-based morality.
It's not even just postmodernism. It's this post-moral. It's the post-death of facts personage that has occurred. And that...
Would you call it individualism? Because it really is, the morals and ethics are dictated by my individual survival.
It's so amorphous.
That's true.
Because it's like
word for it.
It's not. It's hard to define because it's not just defined by like what's good for me. They'll also do these incredibly what you would think of as selfless acts, but it's not selfless for the sake of a grander scheme. It's selfless for the sake of the fact they have no grounded reality, and so they're immediately and impulsively doing something that like death doesn't mean anything to a person who doesn't conceive reality.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, this world is without like true, not even like nihilism for the sake of everything's without meaning, but nihilism for they've come to this almost
It's
like
almost selfish. It's almost selfish nihilism.
Right.
Everything's meaningless because of my paradigm and me and my experience.
But beyond that, everything's meaningless because it's like nothing matters because there is no facts. There is
Right.
no reality because I haven't seen it. There is no reality because every time that I think I have ground to stand upon, it seems to shift on me, and it's been that way since I was 5.
Yeah.
And then then we try to explain to these people like, no, there is reality, there is truth, there is meaning, there's value to this life. And it's like, how can I understand the concept of value when the very facts that were presented to me yesterday as truth, hard, cold facts are now something to be questioned today that's just getting shifted for the sake of somebody else's political ideology usually, but some other grand, it's like these people are truly debased, and it's difficult to reconcile between those two lines of the people who are mourning the death of facts and living in a life without them.
I mean, think about it. We went from, Walter Cronkite telling us how it is to John Quinones, investigating your daycare in Minnesota.
Yeah. The advent of social media and independent media being the only conceivably, at least visibly, accurate source of critical media in today's world is insane.
But that also touches on the other thing. The only thing that these two cutoffs can agree upon is that they need to grab onto one source of reality, ignore all others.
Right.
Because it's like, I need ground to stand on, so I'll just ignore all these other things.
They're looking for a foundation that's completely shifting on them all the time.
Constantly.
You boys sound like you've looked at a Reddit post before.
I hate Reddit so much.
Or watched any media or TV, compare any, like, in a given day, you could have anything happen. It could be the most obvious, blatant, like 1 + 1 = 2. And then some other media is going to come out and go, well, that's racist. It's 5. And you're like, what were you talking about?
Larry says, how much cash do you think you should have on hand in case of a disaster?
2 months worth of complete income, not bare bones income, complete income. You need 2 months worth of money in a safe that you would normally use for everything, including the bullshit. Because if you have 2 months of fatty calf years worth of income, then you will have 6 months of lean calf.
Fiat or non?
Fiat.
Okay.
Fiat. I will go out on a limb right now and say that fiat is not dying. Fiat is being revised. Fiat is being rebranded, and you will see a new version of fiat one time after another. There will never be a modern society again in the history of this iteration that does not have fiat currency. It is too much of a baseline for everything we do. So if you have enough fiat to get through 2 months today of electric bill, DoorDash, and your Netflix subscription, that turns into 6 months of I have nothing else but food, and I don't care if the tax man comes to take my house income, because ultimately it will always recycle. Somebody will always come in and reset the algorithm. There will probably never be a time in our lifetimes where you are going to see complete collapse of everything to the point where you will not be able to take $5,000 and a passport and get the fuck out of Dodge right now. Somebody will always take it.
We are built around a fractional reserve monetary system.
Yes.
That probably is a good thing in this current day and age.
It's foundational.
At the stage that we're in as a society, from an economic global perspective, it is absolutely a good thing, because if you look around the world, what other currencies are doing and where other major economic forces in the world are at, our system, it does work. As I hate to say this in a weird light, capitalism is a fantastic model when it's applied correctly.
Yep.
And
We're also great when it's applied incorrectly too.
It is.
Yeah.
For
It's
the
been working out okay for us thus far.
It generates wealth.
It does. Versus all the other socio-economic systems that have been tried around the globe, capitalism seems to be working. So we'll do one more, and then we're going to wind it down. And I'd love to show off. We brought some show and tell this evening.
We should have Kyle do his bit real quick.
Yes, if you guys couldn't tell. But we'll do one more, and then we'll go into a couple of announcements. We got some really cool stuff to talk about. This one is going to be for...
Got to do the wheel, the team of the wheel.
No. Let's not do the Timu wheel.
Oh, now we're at Alibaba.
The Alibaba. Let's just deet.
They weren't pedaling the bicycle fast enough.
This is going to be for Will.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, practical. Will, aliens are real because the government says so.
Cool.
If the government officially confirms that intelligent, non-human life, and people actually believe it, what does that do to trust? What does it do to faith and social order in everyday modern American life? So faith,
Trust, faith, and order.
and social order.
Okay, I know in the question you're not going to say explicitly whether or not they actually do exist. The government's just saying so. Trust. I mean, no matter what the government says tomorrow, even if they say gravity's inverted, I don't think I trust them any more or less than I did the day before, turns out. And if they are telling me the aliens are real, boy, oh boy, what'd they do over in the Middle East today that they got to say that? What?
Where's my beer and what's the cover?
Look at the rabbit. Look at the rabbit. Ignore the...
He's going to be reading books to kindergartners somewhere. And anyway,
faith. Demons. What are you talking about? Order. Can I eat them? Do I get to add them to the food chain? That's the only question.
Where are they?
Do you have superior firepower?
Yeah, well, it's the real question is, do I need to slow cook them or barbecue them? Will they be, I think it'd be gross. I think it'd be gross if I eat them. I don't know.
Could be a food source to get Bigfoot to do your bidding.
Right, yeah. But they might also be rubbery and disgusting. I don't know. Yeah. Maybe we just need to throw a lot of barbecue sauce on that bad boy.
It's not bad when it's cooked right.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I don't know.
Hi, Zev!
The Kuatine.
The Kuatine. If you know, you know. They will not break us.
Hell no.
Anything else?
That was about as rapid fire as it goes.
You said you wanted a quick draw, buddy.
That was good.
Did you address the faith one?
Yeah, I said demons.
He said, yeah, demons.
Yeah, you're not going to listen. You're not going to change my mind. I don't believe in aliens. I do believe in demons. Done. There you go. Yeah.
Rebecca, to answer your question thoroughly, at least 4 to 6 hours, but overnight is preferred.
Do a dry salt rub, but you have to make sure you wash it off because their salt brine naturally will collide.
Right.
With it.
Yeah.
It's true.
It's like salted pork. You gotta wash it out a couple times after.
Did you say salted long pork?
I said salted pork.
Okay. All right. So we have a couple of really cool announcements for you guys this evening, and then I'd like to wrap up with Bobby talking to us about the upcoming festival. Brian said cover them in dia. Yes, thank you. Thank you, Brian. Yes, you're going to
It's medicinal going in.
Yeah, it helps the seasoning really get in there,
Yeah, we just sprinkle a little
good in, good out. Good in, good out.
Kyle, what do you want to tell
us about? Is it like turtles
about?
you got to feed?
You got some announcements for us?
Yeah, so my announcement would be that up in Lee's Summit, where ICE is going door to door.
Yeah.
We are actually in February. On the 8th of February at Bridge Space in downtown Lee's Summit, we are having our PPCT tactics class. We're going to be going over pepper spray, de-escalation, safety, environment awareness, and we have the amazing, he's on the chat with us, Brian Straley, who, guys, he was showing me the course manual that he's drawing from his previous military and police experience that he's got, and then he was showing me the file of the certificates and like the amount of requirements for the certificates to be a trainer. The manual and Brian's training certifications are the same stack size, so we're in really good hands with Brian Straley teaching this class. It's going to be at the downtown Lee's Summit Bridge Space co-working space. We get to rent there for basically free and get their whole facility there.
Beautiful facility.
Great opportunity there at that co-working space. We're going over non-lethal, de-escalation, safety, and your own legal and accountability in those situations, even if you are defending yourself.
Yep.
Brian's going to be using our friend Zach, who is a tall dude, but we're also going to be using one of our leaders of the mag, Sydney Davis, now Johnson, and Sydney, with her military experience as well, is going to show us whether you are a man or a woman, how these rules of engagement apply to you. So we're going to have a really great class at the Lee Summit on the 8th. It's going to be exciting.
Beautiful. Engagement in the community. And what else is coming up? Anything else? You want to talk about the Topeka one?
Topeka's got theirs coming up, and I think I forgot the date, Patrick, but is that the 15th?
Yes.
So the Topeka event that's coming up is also going to be a version of non-lethal, but it's more focused on self-reliant survival, real world with Mr. Gary Williams.
Yep.
And this will be
Fire defensive skills.
Will this be his second time running a class with
Yeah, because you guys did Stop the Bleed last
Stop
time.
the Bleed
He
last
did
time.
Stop the Bleed, yeah.
And now he's coming to do simple combative, real world self-defense.
Yep.
Patrick, a few people actually asked me, will they need to do they need to come in comfortable clothes to that one in Topeka? Like, is he going to have people doing hands-on basics of some of that stuff? That was a question I got in my group.
Yeah, so he is going to be doing a combination of those things. As I understood, Gary is going to be showing us some of those self-combative techniques, defensive techniques, as well as a
Surviving a fight.
yes, the practicality of and the mindset of surviving a fight, as well as a live pepper spray demonstration.
Oh.
And the neutralization of a pepper spray, how to combat that when the ice agents hit you in the face with that orange gas because you were throwing snowballs at them in Minnesota or now Lee Summit.
And he
Don't muddy the waters.
He has a pretty diverse background too, right?
He does.
Gary.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Gary's
He's Topeka Public Schools PD right now, but he was also security forces in the Air Force and some other stuff like that. Yeah.
And he founded Fire Defensive Skills. Is that training facility in Topeka?
It's going to be married up with Harrison Shooter Supply, who sponsors us with all the firearms we give away.
Yep. So he's great. I'm hoping to get to both of these myself.
Thank you, James. Thank you, James. James vouches for Gary's hands-on-hands jiu-jitsu. Let me show you what I'm working with. Sam says he's going to make it to the class on the 8th. All right, Sam, we're going to hold you to that. Please and thank you. It'll be good.
Sir.
We'll see you there. Let's see here.
Drag 'em
Red
up.
Flyer. Yeah, we don't want them to come back to life. That's right. She's talking about the aliens. And then, Will, do you have an update for us on what you're working on?
Website?
Yeah. Your website changes. We got some A/B tests going out there. What else
Yeah,
we got?
we're talking and we're trying to make sure that we're happy with it before we release it. But we are working on a new website for MPP.
Will it be mobile friendly?
Yes, that is our major focus.
Bring the younger Dryas. We have a mobile-friendly website coming.
We know the current website. We've heard your complaints. We've heard what you've had to say. I've heard many people talk about the website. We're trying to make it better. The improvements are going to not only make it mobile friendly, but also really just help with trying to get you to where you want to go, help you find what you need to find, get you to the resource you want to get to. Our other major focuses too are making sure that the events that like we're talking about, like we just talked about, are going to be accessible, easy to find, so you'll know where they are, what's going on, who's going to be there, that sort of thing.
Yep.
Yeah, overall, we're really happy with where we're going thus far, I think. It's just a matter of trying to nail it down so that when we give it to you guys, it is good, but be patient just a little bit longer. We're almost there.
Yep, for all our friends not on Bookface or any of the other social media websites.
Such as myself. Yep.
Yeah.
Just remember, folks, we don't charge for attendance to any of our events, and so everything we do is a labor of love. We don't have as much of a budget to work with as some of the other preparedness and homesteading events, so just wait. We're making some good changes. It's just going to take a little bit of time.
Yep, bear with us. We're doing good. Bobby, you want to talk about the upcoming festival?
Yeah, May 5th through May 10th is our spring festival. I've already got 7 of 9 speaking engagements locked down. I've got 1 more potentially locked down. We have all of our special events locked down. I've already got sponsors. Joe Salatin is sponsoring us again with the book Towards the Library. Billy Bond from Perma Pastures is going to be giving us more books for the Prepper Library and a whole lot of other stuff. John Willis from SOE has already sponsored us. Practical Survival has sponsored us. WROL, the game we're playing tonight, has sponsored us, and a whole lot more. We have only 1 repeat speaker this year. Everybody else is somebody we have never had before. And it's going to be a huge lineup of amazing names that are going to talk to you about a whole bunch of things. I also like to mention that Patrick and I, are about to be invited to what's called the Tops Bunker podcast.
Mm-hmm.
If you're on Facebook, look up Tops Bunker. If you're on podcasting on Podbean or any of the different podcasting platforms, look up Tops Bunker. I've been talking with their guys for the last month or so. Patrick and I are going to be guests on their event or on their show. One's going to be about Midwest Preparedness Project and our spring festival. We're going to be doing another one that's going to be about EMPs, CMEs, and other disrupting events. And rumor has it that somebody who is affiliated with the Tops Bunker podcast may be one of our presenters in the spring. And I won't give any more details away, but let's just say you won't be disappointed. We're reaching out, and we've been reached out to by newer and more entities such as this podcast. Scott Armstrong from the Rebunk podcast is going to be back. He's going to be podcasting live from the stage Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, talking to a whole host of people. So be prepared for a lot of really interesting interactions. A lot of information is going to be given out this spring. We're really trying our best to make sure it's information heavy, but at the same light pace that we always do things.
Bobby, we had a few comments on the Facebook page earlier when we announced the dates of the Spring Festival, if the kids' activities will still culminate with was it a fire challenge last time? Will that be happening again this year?
I believe that there are going to be 3 separate challenges that Christy has planned for the kids this time. I'm not going to steal her thunder, and I won't speak for her, but what I do know is that there will be children's events happening Thursday, Friday, Saturday, along with, I think, a movie night on Friday night. There is going to be 2 different children's giveaways, one on Friday, one on Saturday. Those always take place before the adult giveaways. So lots of things for the kids to do. I do believe there's going to be things involving fire, water, and nasty food. So show up and you'll find out.
Last but not least, there is a link that we dropped in the chat here. Talks about a little documentary that several of us participated in here recently on a cool channel. Bobby, you want to talk a little bit about that? That is the Progetto Happiness.
Project Happiness, Progetto Happiness on YouTube. They have a few weeks ago dropped a documentary about preparedness in the United States and how preparedness makes people happy. Fantastic crew. They were from Italy and Spain, and we got to hang out with them for a whole half of a week. And this was what was really cool about this particular documentary. For the first time, a preparedness documentary was made where people like us were reached out to, and we were allowed to dictate the terms. We were allowed to say, this is who's going to be in it. This is what we would like to see projected. This is the tone we want to set. It wasn't like the old Nat Geo days where they just showed up and showed the weirdest people out there doing dumb things, and then everyone thought that's what preparedness was. They allowed us to set the narrative. So you're going to see stuff in that documentary from the Topeka Mag. You're going to see Kyle representing at the Topeka Mag, talking about the Lee Summit Mag. You're going to see Gary Williams from Fire Defensive doing a firearms training session. You're going to see Scott Harrison and his daughter Danae talking about firearms. You're going to see Patrick and I working a crowd at Topeka Mag meetings. And you're going to see another guy talking about his bunkers and all the things he wants to do with his bunker that he's going to be. We got to set the tone, and we are talking about potentially doing a really neat collaboration with all the people that were a part of that filmmaking process in the near future. So watch the YouTube channel and stay tuned.
Very, very cool. Very cool. So, again, we thank you guys very much. We know that you guys had anything better to do, like I said, watch Little House on the Prairie or whatever it is you do on a Monday night, rearrange your shock drawer. But instead, you guys were here with us, and we thank you very much. We look forward to seeing you guys at one of the mag meetings. Sam, love you, brother. We'll see you at the 8th. I will be there. I think several of us from Topeka will be migrating over that way. I'm hanging out with our friends from Lee Summit. We love you guys. We appreciate you guys. Have a fantastic night. Thanks for hanging out with us. And remember, make America great again.
My heart goes out to all of you.
My heart goes out to all of you. That's my Elon Musk salute. Have a great night, guys.
That's loud.
Thank you, everybody.
Yeah, well,